Welcome back, viewers, to another So Thirsty episode. Today, Q and I are going to visit a Xinjiang restaurant. And Xinjiang cuisine reflects the many cooking styles of the various ethnic groups living in the region. And because Xinjiang is located near the Middle East, they have a very large Muslim population. And therefore, most of their food, not all, but most are halal, which comprises mainly of mutton, beef, fish, seafood, anything aside from pork, if you understand what halal means. And you're not like one of those vegan wannabe who claims that they're vegan but still have mayo in their burgers. So without further ado, let's go. So we ordered 5 dishes. We got a stir-fried noodle, we got some clams, we also got a naan with some roasted meat, I think it's probably lamb, and we got a salad dish, and finally we also got, what's the last dish? Some fruit yogurt, just to cool things off. And for those of you who planned on coming here but are worried about getting lost in translation, don't worry. They have an English menu, one that is filled with suggestive dishes that will either leave you hanging or expand your vocabulary. Either way, the dishes here will surely get to your heart tube. Let's welcome our first dish, the stir-fried noodle. It kind of reminds me of ravioli pieces. It's stir-fried in a tomato-based sauce. You can see the fresh tomatoes, some celery. It's got little pieces of meat. I'm not sure what kind of meat is it. It looks kind of like beef, so I'm guessing it's beef. And it smells very tomato-ish, so I'm gonna like this dish. And oh my god, we got some clams here. I don't know what they're called here, but in Australia it's called pipis, and in Singapore we just call them clams. Smells amazing, the chili oil. It's got a bit of charcoal smell. I think they barbecue it on top of this aluminium wrap foil-ish thing. And it's marinated with soy sauce, I think chili oil that has some Szechuan pepper, and spring onions. Smells good, can't wait to try it. And I love seafood. Now this is the third dish, and this is primarily the reason why we came to this restaurant. It's a lamb and naan dish. And I've eaten a few naans in my life, but I've never seen one prepared in this manner. Yes, that's right, these are little naan pieces that I've chopped up and stir-fried with the mutton. Immediately you can smell the very strong cumin spices. So it's very common here that you have lamb marinated with cumin and chili. And finally we got this cold dish. It's a sort of like a salad root vegetable, but it's made with something called magu. I've searched it up online. But I think it's marinated with some sesame oil. Other than that, it's just garnished with some sad looking coriander. But we'll see how it tastes like. In Chinese traditional dinner, we always start with the cold dish, so that's what we're going to do now. We're going to start with the light dish and then we're going to finish off with the heavier dish because we are gourmet like this. It's very crunchy, it's very moist. I can taste the sesame oil. But I think there's some sort of vinegar underneath as well, because it's a bit vinegarish at the end. It's kind of too much for me. It's too raw for me. So, but with the coriander, I think it cancels off all the rawness of the vegetable. So not too bad. But let's move on. Now, when I say noodle, typically you expect something like that, but in this case, it's more like well, I guess I better let myself explain it. Now the next dish that we're gonna try is this noodle dish, the stir-fried noodle dish. And it's a bit hard to grab because all the pieces of dough starts to stick together. I'm gonna get a bit of everything so I can taste all of it in one go. So I've got some noodle, some tomato, some celery, meat, onion, garlic. Let's see how it tastes. The dish actually tastes like pasta, which surprises me a lot. The celery adds a bit of crunch and texture to it, whereas the tomato gives it a very good sweetness. I quite like it, so... Well, Q just realized that if you add the chili with the fried noodle, it tastes a lot better because it gives that additional kick and spice to it. So let's give it a shot. Not too bad, but not something that I would do. Let's move on. Now I'm gonna try the PP or the clams, which is ultimately my favorite because I love seafood. Oh, the sauce is just magical. It really smells of like Szechuan pepper, and it's got like some sort of soy sauce, and oh, it just smells so good. But enough talk. Let me just try the sauce first. That's the bomb. That is delicious. Holy holy. The sauce is so amazing. It permeates into the clam. The clam is so fresh and bouncy. Oh, there is no bad aftertaste. It just tastes so clean, so magical. The caramelized onion also adds a bit of sweetness to it. This is by far my favorite dish. The best. There's a bit of crunch to it. I think there's still some sand in it. But let's move on to the next dish. The dish that we came here for. The deep fried naan and roast mutton. This is naan. It's been deep fried to the point that it's like croutons. It feels like croutons. It's like crispy. But it has the marinade of the cumin, the chili, the dry rub, and some of the mutton sauce. It soaks up all the flavor. It tastes amazing. Q just suggested having the naan with the clam sauce. Let's give it a go. I don't usually say this about carbohydrate meals. I'm not a big fan of bread or noodles or anything, but that's some tasty shit. But anyway, let's try the meat. Many of you know that I'm not a mutton fan, but the spices and everything just takes back a lot of the gaminess away. So it tastes alright to me. So I really dig this. But unfortunately it's a bit dry for me. But if I were to rank the dishes, the clams would be first, followed by this naan meat, and then the fried noodle, and then the cold salad dish, because it's just a cold salad dish. I'm gonna try the naan dish with everything on the plate. So the naan, the meat, and the onion. Looks like a nigiri sushi. I can taste the cumin, I can taste the spice, I can feel the crunchiness from the naan, coupled with the sweetness from the onions and the savoury bouncy meat. Fantastic. Well, even after all that salad and the yogurt, I still feel like we need some drinks to cool things off. And we got orange juice. I bet you're thinking we're going to go for some alcohol, but since we're having some halal meal, no alcohol, baby. While you guys have the privilege to watch Q and I stuff ourselves, I'm glad to inform you that we've made it to 200 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. So, here's a special B-roll just for you guys. So if you're visiting China, please try some of these dishes. They're amazing. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more content, please help this channel by clicking the like and subscribe button. Also, let me know what you guys think about this episode down in the comments section. And I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Don't forget to subscribe and stay so thirsty.